Welcome into the Ravens Rundown, everybody. I am your host, Joey Petersen, and on today's show, we are talking about some free agent targets the Baltimore Ravens might be looking at as they round out their 2024 NFL season and make a push for a Super Bowl run. Real quick, if you didn't give me a Christmas present and you want to give your favorite YouTuber a Christmas present, I hate saying I'm a YouTuber, but at the end of the day, that's what I am. If you want to give me a Christmas present, you could do that simple for free, just like today's video. We'll get started with today's show. So, our first free agent target we're talking about is Mr. Odell Beckham Jr. And again, I know I talked about him last week. We're talking about him again. Because last year in Baltimore, he had, I don't want to say a career resurgence, but I think he was a lot better than anybody, including myself, expected him to be. 35 catches, 565 yards, 40.4 yards per game, 3 touchdowns as well. And guys, again, I know we talked about it last week, but the more and more I think about this, the possible addition of Odell Beckham Jr., the more, in my opinion, it makes sense. And why it makes sense is because of this right here. You have 3 guys that in the last couple weeks have either missed games or missed practice time because of injuries. And that's just kind of how it goes at this point in the NFL season. People are beaten. They're bruised. They're tired. They've been playing football for 16 weeks. Longer than that, since mid-August, this is just going to happen, okay? He had Zay Flowers in a sling earlier this week, shoulder injury. Rashod Bateman's dealing with a foot injury. Nelson Agholor dealing with a concussion from a couple weeks ago, okay? They've all missed practice time. They've all missed game time. And so this kind of feels like the perfect time to bring in a guy like OBJ, who you know would fit right into this offense because same quarterback, same offensive coordinator, same head coach, for the most part, same players as last year. Give you a little rundown of his timeline, the past, 6-7 months or so. May 8th, he was signed by the Dolphins. Then, August 27th, he was added to their PUP list because of a minor, tiny little surgery he had in the offseason. October 6th, he finally made his season debut against New England. November 11th, he had his best game against the Los Angeles Chargers. Only 2 catches in that one. And then December 13th, quickly after that one, he was released by the Miami Dolphins, okay? And I know nothing in this timeline screams, go get him, right? Add him to this team. But you also got to think from just a depth standpoint, right? Think of the game against the Steelers. Your wide receiver 3 on that day was Tylan Wallace. Honestly, guys, I think I'd take OBJ over Tylan Wallace. I don't know. It's a toss-up, but it wouldn't hurt to have depth. Now, I think there are a few contenders, okay? I don't think you're the only one out there searching for some wide receiver depth and have your eyes on Odell Beckham Jr. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers might be contenders. I think the Los Angeles Chargers might be contenders. And, of course, us down there at that bottom 3. I would have said Houston Texans, but earlier this week, we all know they did the funny thing and claimed Diontae Johnson. Good luck, Houston. That's all I got to say. But the Los Angeles Chargers, they were right behind the Houston Texans in the waiver wire, and they were going to put in a claim for Diontae Johnson themselves. Houston just got to him first. And that honestly kind of surprised me because, obviously, John Harbaugh, they don't just share the same last name. They share the same blood. They're brothers. You'd think they'd talk about this. It was obvious that John Harbaugh hated Diontae Johnson. You'd think he'd say something to his brother like, hey, man, this guy stinks. Don't add him to your football team. But I think that just goes to show how desperate Los Angeles is for wide receiver help, which in my opinion makes them a contender for OBJ. I got a question for you. Where do you think he will land this season? If he lands anywhere, predict it for me in the comment section down below. I'm about to talk about our sponsor, PrizePicks, and while I'm talking about PrizePicks, take advantage of that time, scroll down, find that pinned comment, and answer for me. Let's talk about PrizePicks. It is the sponsor of today's show. It will not be free for you all if it weren't for our friends over at PrizePicks. It's the place to go because it's the most easiest and the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports, and you can make your holidays bigger and brighter with PrizePicks. It's the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. Instead of 200 times your cash, it's now 1,000 times your cash. PrizePicks now offers MasterCard also for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Sign up today, get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus because it's guaranteed. Join now because this holiday season, PrizePicks is giving away 2 free picks in December, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas. PrizePicks is the best way to win real money this football season. You have to ask yourself, which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on PrizePicks. And I don't say just make them in 60 seconds just to say that. That's exactly how easy it is. You choose 2 or more players. You choose more or less on that player's stat projections. And if you know ball as well as I do, in just seconds, you'll see the winnings flow in right on PrizePicks. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. I'm sorry, guys. I just want to go ahead and apologize. The second free agent target is Kadarius Toney, okay? And I know what you're saying, because I'm saying the exact same thing. Kadarius Toney sucks. I know it. You know it. Producer Allie knows it. But I think we still need to talk about it, okay? Before we talk about any of the specifics, let's get you caught up on his career and kind of what the last 4 years have been like for KT. He got drafted in April 2021 to the New York Giants, coming out of the University of Florida. Then October 2022, he was traded to Kansas City. They gave a 3rd and a 6th round pick for him. Talk about a fleece job from New York. August of 2024, just this year, he was cut by Kansas City. September 2024, he was signed by Cleveland. And then just 3 months later, earlier this month in December, he was cut by that same team that had just signed him. And if you look at the stats, it's kind of no surprise why his career has kind of taken the trajectory that he's had. He's yet to log a catch, a yard per game, or a touchdown so far in 2024. Last year, he only had 169 yards playing in that Kansas City Chiefs offense, 13 games played with Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, and that wide receiver core that needed a guy to step up. He only had 169 yards and a touchdown. 2022 was a little bit better by 2 yards, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns, only 9 games though. And then in 2021, 420 yards in 10 games played, 0 touchdowns as well. And the only way that I would do this, I would not let him line up as receiver one time. I would not let him line up one time as wide receiver. But I think he could possibly make his way as a return specialist. And I know this changes a little bit with the signing of Steven Sims earlier this week. But guys, let's face it. He can't catch a pass to save his life. But once he gets the ball in his hands, he's electric. Okay? And I'd possibly take a chance on it as a return specialist. We saw what Desmond King did in that game against Pittsburgh. Fumbled it not once, but twice. I can't have that happening in my punt return game, okay? I can't have that happening from my return specialist. Kadarius Toney, he's a guy that was drafted on ceiling. You said his ceiling was this high because he's such a good athlete. Unfortunately, he has bricks for hands, but if you can get him back there returning kicks or returning punts, I think it could possibly make sense. Here are the prices. They'd both be dirt cheap. Odell Beckham Jr. would be around $500,000. Kadarius Toney would be about $343,000. Okay? I want to hear from you guys. Of these two guys, which one would you sign? If you like OBJ, give me an OBJ in the comment section down below. If you like Kadarius Toney, go ahead and hit me with a KT. My answer coming up after this. Odell Beckham Jr. No question, okay? No question, no ifs, ands, buts about it. For multiple reasons. One, I think he's the better wide receiver. And at this point in the season, you're looking for a wide receiver, okay? You're looking for a guy who could be a wide receiver 3 if Agholor, Bateman, or Zay Flowers are hurt, okay? Heck, even if they're not, you're looking for a guy to be wide receiver 4 or a wide receiver 5. That's number one. Number two, he was in this system last year. Like I said earlier, same quarterback, same head coach, same offensive coordinator. Same fellow wide receivers. They all played together. They all loved each other, right? And so I think he'd be able to come in. I think he'd be able to fit right in. And I also think he's just a better culture fit, okay? Diontae Johnson, that whole situation was a mess, and now he's out of your locker room. He's gone. Forget about him. Now you could add someone in who could possibly add to that culture. These guys, they love each other, okay? They really do. So that's my pick. Excited to hear yours down below. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this holiday season with your friends and your family. Hope you're about to enjoy this weekend of stress-free football that we've got coming up. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me down below because we're covering the Ravens like nobody else on this whole platform. I'll see you next time.